Alright, welcome back everyone. As you can see, I took a little step back today. I think I do need to take the time to get these guys locked in place back here before I start adding more pieces in front of it. Sort of came to that conclusion as I was looking at what I was going to have to do today with the steps. Because supposedly we're going to have some steps running from here to our floor, but if that's not square, I can't, it's sort of one of those cascading things where I need to have something locked in before I move on to the next one. So that's where we're going to start at today, is getting this thing down, then the steps, then we'll see where we're at on time, and maybe we'll do a couple other little things. But if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures, and how I hopefully fix those inevitable failures as they come up. Upload daily and just try and have a good time. We're not solving the world's problems, just building silly little models, having a bit of fun. You see any kits or builds or sets you want to take a shot at, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add onto my list. And I've got the most intelligent audience on YouTube because y'all provide me with nothing but the best of options. That being said, what I need to do, my problem is the floor is not level without our other support in place. And I can't get it level until that's in place. So if I put it in now, you can sort of see it's very much angled down, and then if I lock it in place, I can't get the support back in. So like I said, is one problem leads to another, so in order to keep the floor square, this has got to be in here and get those squared up, and that pushes that out, so you can see that little crack back here forming is pushing in there, so we got to make sure. So we're going to have a lot of clamps going in different places and different directions this time. I do need to grab a more stable base to work off of, and I misplaced the one I was going to use somewhere. So okay, I just need, basically I need the corner back down here on the bottom underneath to make sure I get these guys square, the top square and the bottom square, and then that should, let's say, I am a little worried about keeping that pushed to the back, because that's going to be a tricky one to make sure is in place. But I'm definitely going to be using the B7000 for this, just so I can have the time to, wiggle it around as I need to. But I'm still sort of flummoxed about how to get it going. I think I put a little bit back here to start with, but it broke free the first day. Whenever I started, you can see it goes up and down back like this corner. Let's see where that was. I guess it's a little bit attached, but it's mostly attached over on that edge. So I'm going to turn on this light, because even though it put the glare on there, it does provide the best view. Let's see. And okay, I think I've got something in mind now. So get all the clamps out. I got the medium one and my tiny ones. The tiny ones will go side to side, medium one front to back. And I think first step will be to get the floor locked in, and after that's dry, I'll come in and put the shelf in after, hopefully. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, that's my preliminary plan so far. So first step, I'd say get and I'm not worried about being too neat back here, because that shelf is going to be in front of it, so I can be a little sloppy with the gluing, which I'm sure I will be. Pull this out so I don't glue it down by mistake too. Hopefully find a place to wrap it up. Okay, so need a little spring clamps. I think I'm gonna be okay if I put it up here. I don't think I'm gonna have a clamp running on this side. In that section anyway. Okay, now, so back here, just get it down as far as I can get it to agree to go. Yeah, hopefully healthy bead along the back. Try and give it a little bit, you know, quarter inch or so from the end, because I don't want to glue it in place yet. And same thing on the bottom side, I think. So I've got full coverage. I can get the glue to cooperate with me. Need to get out my toothpaste squeezer. I think it's going now. Yeah. Okay. So I got. Do a little wiggle on it, make sure the glue gets all the way up and down both sides of the. Get full coverage on that back. Now, bring our support in. Going in here. And this is where I'll use the big clamp, actually the medium clamp. Make sure we get it squared off top to bottom. And then, that didn't work. Okay. New clamp. Side to side first then. Here. Can't go super tight there, so keep trying different places until I get one to stick, I guess. That's not even close. Okay. In my head, I had a pretty good plan going. Back to this one. That should get it. Doing it like that, it has to be level on top and bottom. And I'm more worried about the side than I am getting everything perfect, so I'm going to clamp it along the front of the floor. Okay, it appears to be doing squishing down pretty good in the back. I'm scared if I pick it up to show you, it'll mess it up. But I think it's wiggling around. But I think I've got it where I want it to be. And like I say, the only thing I'm gluing is that back line. So here, that's the floor, support. Okay. Of course, now I got the issue of moving it out of the way. Hopefully, I have enough space up at the top to spin this around and get, so I can start working on something else while we let that glue dry. Because at the time, I'm imagining the time I can do some of these other little projects, that glue will be set up enough where we can maneuver it some. So let me get everything. Just sort of push you up there. Don't fall apart. Okay, so sort of still making sure that back is in good shape, and it is. Okay, so that part is done. And while it's doing its thing, let's build some steps. I got 2 or 3 other little projects. Actually, yeah, I've already got my heart set on doing steps, so I'm going to do those. Which, I think I've got a plan for that. Let's get our little square out again, as usual. I'm going to be using the Gorilla Super Glue with brush. Basically, put this away. We want the steps up here on the skinny's top. This side's the top. We want the steps on the skinny side, not the flat side, because they're pretty. It's like going to a loft, so it's a pretty steep staircase. So if I put you in there up against the side, take one of my treads. I can get it. Doesn't matter which one I hit, as long as I hit one and get it square in the back. Get it flat and square against the outside. Over here. It may not even focus down there, but just like you in there. Just pick one of the steps and get it mounted. I think if I can get a couple of steps mounted on both sets of treads, or both sets of stringers, we should be able to get the rest of them in place. Fingers crossed. Okay. So, do I want to start? Okay, do I skip? I don't skip any. Yeah, I go straight through top to bottom, so maybe I'm going to try. That top's sort of awkward to get to with that part, and it just needs. I could just use the open side, because I'm just using it to get the flat. Yeah. So yeah, I thought I'm going to use the open side and just start with this top one and see where we can go. It doesn't seem like I've done 12 minutes worth of work, but evidently I have. Okay. As usual, get as little glue on it as possible. It's not super. And just right there, nice smooth even coat over the whole tread base. On top, V square, and down, and in, and over. 2 seconds. Alright. Smooth against that side. Looks pretty flush, pretty good going to the back. Alright. Now, I actually don't want to go to the bottom because I don't have room to do the other side with the bottom, so I'm going to go second step from the bottom. And oh, actually that's, I got that whole, oh, I can use this side. Okay, I can use the bottom if I do that. Yeah, so that's going to go like that. If I just bring it. And the other hand for that, I think. Same thing, just get in there and squeeze it. It's nice and square, and you can't see any of that, so, so I'll just go ahead and do it and take a look at the after. Okay, nice, smooth, even coat. Can't do that with that hand. Few seconds. I didn't do it well enough here. Okay, there we go. And 2 of them are done. Now, this one, lucky, leaves you in. Okay, this is where we're not going to, okay, it is going to need, this isn't level because it's got that lip there. I do need it to be upright. I was going to hit. Okay. Now, do I want to try and, maybe I can do, down like that. Still getting a straight edge on it. I should be able to think I should be able to get enough pressure for that to work. Let me... Yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, so... top and bottom. Smooth, even trying to do this thin as I can, but getting full coverage on it, sort of. Want everything at once. That side wasn't perfect, but it was still pliable. Side feels pretty flush, so that's good. And I am double checking to make sure I put those on right. I did, yep. It matches the picture. Okay. So now, should this be, I think I can do these freehand. Pop them on and some pressure down from the top. And hopefully walk our way right up the steps. I guess I didn't intend for the pun, but that's yeah. It had to be intended. Subconsciously intended pun. Maybe. On there. Pressure down. Of course, the more treads we add, the more stable things are going to get with it too. So, and stronger, and hopefully easier to handle. Okay. A little proud over there, but within tolerance. Oh yeah, I've got, not like I don't have a zoom on the camera. Top and bottom. Just here. Place at the side. And I'm fairly amazed I haven't glued myself to them yet. As it turns out, I'm walking down rather than up. Okay. You're feeling pretty stable. And of course, you should. You got plenty of cross members now. Alright, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, but also wasn't super easy, but once you get started, it was pretty easy. Right. That's hopefully I'll get that mounted later on tonight once that glue dries. Checking in on it now. Take a peek. Everything seems to be staying where I want it to, so it shouldn't be moving, but I never take that for granted. Okay, now get out the old glue gun and get it started to warm up. 'Cause it's time to put another template in place. And I'm sort of dreading this one. This is one of those, maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll find out together. It's gonna be making a stocking and a Santa cap. This is the parts we're gonna be using tonight, in theory. But I'm just gonna use this is my own. They want me to use some fabric, but I'm gonna go back. I'm just going straight to felt now. I'm not even gonna try. It's a futile effort in me to try and use the fabric. So let's cut up around my template here. So there. Yep. All right. Here. Like I said, this is the ones we're worried about tonight. So I'm gonna try put my glue here, 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 here. Probably, and then a couple on the outside. Of course, up here too. We're gonna hit on whenever we do use these. A couple on that just to make sure we got good coverage on it. Okay. That seems like a lot of dots to be using. Let's start off down here on the one I didn't mark. On the edge. Make sure that guy stays in place. Gradually working our way up here. I just put 2 on here, but I'm going to go across. Get good seal on the back end too. Okay. I think that should hold all our pieces in place sufficiently. And now, I can't get, I'm going to try and go across and back over. I want to leave these inside pieces attached to for these up here for whatever we're going to use those for someday. So, here. Okay. And where's my okay, there's my other templates I hadn't used all the pieces off of yet. Now, I guess I'll do the cone first. Santa hat's not much different from a witch's hat, so I'm dreading this as much as I do any witch's hat I build. But hopefully my felt will be helpful in this. Although I can't see why, because I can't even do it with paper or cardboard. Off track there. Alright, there we go. Alright. Got a little crooked there, but I think otherwise okay. Now I got a couple of stockings to make. Let's see, I think I'll go in here and around. Like just trying to avoid my glue, so I've got something holding it in place a little bit. I think I'll just go straight up and I'll cut the top off later. Yeah, I think that might be. Okay, now I'm going to take out the middle. And I think this little scissors in here to make this corner. There. The most difficult part first, which isn't very difficult to be honest on this one. A little curve around there. Actually, get that part done. I'm going to go back to big scissors because they're actually easier to make these longer cuts. I think I got off on that a little bit. Yeah, cut a little bit into my line, but not too bad. Within tolerance on there, and this. Okay. Let's see how close these guys are. Actually, not perfect, but not too bad. Getting matched up there. Okay. All my scraps out of the way, because I don't think I'll need any of those little bitty pieces anymore. And back from the other way. I don't know what it is about making these cones into place, but my brain just doesn't process how to make the turn. I've done it a couple of times. Actually, this is probably big enough to use my needle nose on. Like I say, it's usually a witch's hat or a wizard's hat. It always seems to be the point that gets in my way. Around here, maybe. I need vice grips rather than. Yeah. Okay, so that's maybe an elf hat rather than a... okay, it looks like what I'm wanting is to get a little overlap on the corner here. That seems to get us pretty good there. I can sort of tuck the rest in as I go. I have it showing this to the back, have this be our front here. That would probably work. Question is, can I do it before the glue dries? Actually, I could probably fold it flat. Both sides and puff it back open. I think that might be the real trick. Yeah, because I think it should, because that line looks like it's going to line up pretty good. Yeah, that's my plan. Let's see if that works. There's definitely hot glue for this, and see if I can get a small enough string to small enough bead to go on here. Maybe. Let's see. Blue light. Burning myself, I hope. Okay. Alright, so far from that side it looks okay. Pop open. Yeah. It did. That's probably as good of one as I've made up so far. If I need a pin, maybe get the cone more conish. Okay, wasn't expecting that to go that good. Okay. And supposed to do a similar thing. Gonna end up having to do a similar thing with the stocking. Just we're wanting to make it where it can be hollow and put some stuff inside of it. So I think I'm going to try, like I said, along that angle first, and we'll see how much luck I have. Like I say, it all comes down to if I can get a fine enough bead of glue along that edge, and then get it in place in time. I'm actually pretty chuffed about that, as some of my friends from over yonder say. Okay, let's see what happens here. So just go around that. Do that side first. I was eventually going to glue myself to something. Okay, now I stay. How many? Should still have a little room in there, even when the back side gets glued. We'll find out together. Back. You down. Okay. Real test of it. Yeah, it's gonna got a little storage capacity in there. Not as much as they have, but still, I should be able to get the desired effect, I think. So, pop that one off again. And let's see, it actually calls for 2 of those ends off, but I don't think I'm going to fit 2 of them in there. And, oh yeah, that. was also the part where I had trouble the other day. Let's see if I can get a couple of strips off of this. I was trying to be a little too precise, I think, before. Okay, let's get that one out of the way. Let's take all the... Lost all my glues. Okay, we'll just eyeball this one then. Okay, let's just do one for each of them. 3. Okay, and what else goes in there? Okay, some of our greenery. This guy. There's a couple of sprigs off of here. So I think I'll try 2 of those maybe. Theory, these are on in the back. I just made them disappear into each other. Okay. And then you sticking out there. Getting into more of those details that nobody's ever going to see, but I sort of feel like I want to do them. Okay, with that. Okay, so that's gonna fit, so I'm actually gonna stick with the hot glue, I think. See how they, this may be a mistake. But on the end, down in there, squeeze in. Hope I didn't seal it shut. No, I didn't. Now I'm actually gluing, I'm sort of feeling maybe I just do one. Okay, it seems to be cooperating, so I'm going to try for another one. I'm supposed to make some more of those little red flowers too, but I don't think I'm going to. I think that'd be too stressful on me. Okay, got those guys. Now, okay, now I can't get a little almost there. Drop one of these guys on it. And get hold of that. Okay. Well, that's not as complete as they would say, but complete in my book. Stocking. Extra glue details. Okay, now this one, there's our seam back there. So I want to try and get this guy. I guess I'm going to try and do both pieces since I've got that spare one I made by accident. Yeah, let's see if I can, how it cooperates with me here. On this side. Okay, got the back blank, but I got the correct brim in there. Alright. Not feeling too bad about that. Alright. Now I am going... That's... I think actually... Okay, I'm supposed to make a pillow too. Sort of the same method. Yeah, I'm going to do that too, because it goes on our bed. Let's see, what color do I want the pillow to be? Let's make it a pink. Just because I don't see any other real pink in there, so it seems like a good, let's say, sticking with my felt rather than the fabric. And it's supposed to be, it says 2 by 5 centimeters. So, okay. I don't know if I can. Here, so 2 by 5, so that won't. Somebody knows how to use this. It's be very useful tool. Seems like the tick marks should be on the outside for both of them rather than just the halves. Up a little bit. Okay. Let's see here. Where did my... I'm trying. You know what? Could do that, or I can just eyeball it. No, just a little bit. Have a big pillow. Just out of curiosity, how close is it? Okay. Well, I got pretty close on the 2. Got 6-ish, almost. Alright. Now it says what we're supposed to do is roll it around and then seal up one end, then put the batting in. Make it pillow shaped. Let me got the old hot glue gun yet again. And actually, before I start doing that, let me try and soften this up a little bit, make it a little more flexible. Seems like this is something I used to do in Vacation Bible School. Except without a sharp point. And they just gave us sticks, or dowels, I think. Okay. Let's see. Get you flat. That's there. A little overlap. Okay, and good news is it didn't seal up in the center. It didn't bleed through. Well, that's pretty good. So now I'll seal up one side, and then we stuff the other end with padding. So, here. That edge. Okay, got a little pocket going now. I say got a little bit of our stuffing, so just pull me off some of it. Just a little bit more. Got a nice firm pillow. maybe. Okay, I'll do it upright this time. I don't know about this or not, but we'll see what happens. Glued it down for sure. Pulled a bunch of, okay, didn't work. Okay, new plan. All that, most of that out of there. Just, okay, maybe I'll put a little bit in there. That was a little too flat for. That's still too flat. Okay. I'll do a better job of stuff. I'm having all kinds of filaments out the edge. I can't. And that's what made it not glue, I think. Either that or all the glue came out over here. Okay. Still pretty flat, but okay. Oh well. One second. Just occurred to me. This glue should, not like I'm ever going to actually lay on the pillow. That's there, sort of seal it down. Yeah, should have done more. Yeah, that stuff seemed to have been a waste of time. Yeah, I think that would have worked if I put more glue in there. It's still feel it squishy in there. Okay, let's try it again. Now that I got a plan in place. It's going to eyeball it. I don't think that was quite long enough, so actually I think it was the width, wasn't it? Okay, take two. There. Over. That looks more pillow proportional to me, slightly. It's actually about the width of our doodad, so that's on the bottom there. Seal that up. Like I said, I'm just gonna see. I didn't seal it up very good. I missed a spot. Okay, that seemed no, still didn't want to stay together. Same spot. Okay. Now I'm just gonna three good squirts in there, I think. Maybe four. Up the top. It still didn't fill in as much as I thought it would. But it does got a little lift in it. Maybe I'll just put something underneath and make it look like it's sitting thicker. Okay, but yeah, I'll figure something out on that. I'm gonna, like I say, I may have it tucked in or something. Have it leaned up against the backboard. We'll figure it out. But I'm not sure if that glue is gonna be ready for us on our base yet. So I'm gonna take a little break, give it another 15 or 20 minutes, walk the dog so I can hear her sort of whining a little bit. So Morgan, it's usually Morgan that whines, and I'll come back and we'll see if we can't get everything locked in place and get finished up with this one. So right back with that. Okay, the glue has had ample time to dry. Still going to gently bring it in, please. A little bit wider. And let's pop these off and see what we got. Okay. Yeah, it seems pretty stable. A little tacky back there still. The glue is not cured, but it's holding steady. And I think we can get it going. It looks pretty. I think the wood's a little warped, so we'll have some flex on there, but that should get us good enough to get this situated. Okay, so first thing, get the wires to our little sign back in through. Through there. We're going to be down that edge. And then, let's see, I want to do my steps, my very uncomfortable looking pillow. And these guys go up like beside and next to the bed, so the hat and the little stocking. But this is the next important bit. Get these wires fed back through here too. Alright. And we're just gonna go. Okay, so the back is not flat, so it's kind of weird. Do need to. I'm gonna have to prop it up a little bit to get it square with the ground, or the back wall. That's where it's there, because it's wanting to go like that, and I'm pretty sure we need it to be flat. That looks like about the right. Yeah, that seems about the right height. I just happen to have this old tool from some previous kit I built, so I can slide that in once I get our glue in place, and we make sure let's see, I'm not sure. I should be able to, I think my clamp should reach around the edge here. If I put that on there, and I can get a little, yeah, it's going to be able to apply the pressure to the, I'm not sure I want, yeah, that should work. Okay, yeah. That's what I'll do once I get everything situated. I'll put that clamp on to make sure it's pushed against that wall. Got it lifted up with this one. And then I think I should be able to tilt it up and I should have clearance to put the steps on and everything then too. So yeah, well, we should be able to get all this done here reasonably quick now. I've got a plan in place. But first thing is to get some glue on. I'll make sure my wires are staying through. Looks like this. That's where our contact's going to be on that side. I'm trying to think, do I even need? Shouldn't. If I got it glued real good to that side, I shouldn't need glue on the back or the bottom, but I'm going to tack it on the bottom, but this is where most of my glue is going to go. I'm going to try and do a couple little beads. I get the bottom, just a few dots, and I just just pulled that wire out, so I'm gonna fix that before I do anything else. Okay, so that's in there now. A few dots on the bottom. I'm not even trying for a bead. Just want to get just enough to tack it in place when the spacer comes into play. Down here, I'm really gonna try and get a good solid bead down the edge. There and there. And sort of similar on the back. I think I'm going to stick with the tacking. Make sure everything's sort of in place. Not trying for a solid run on it or anything. And get hold of these wires one more time. Make sure they're in snug. And you up enough for you to get in there. Back against that far wall. Alright, so I got that guy in and that guy. Like I said, I think it'll reach here. I can get, don't need a tremendous amount of pressure here, just enough to make sure I'm snug over there. The top seems to be, this one seems to be staying in pretty good as is. Okay, so that's where we're at there. Nice and tight down on the bottom as well. Alright. Now, our steps. Supposed to go over here, supposed to be, okay, our little flower pot's going to be in the way on this. Supposed to be that, but I'm missing quite a bit down here. Yeah, they show them pretty flush with the top. Okay, I've got, it's not a huge gap there. Probably, I'm gonna put the other side in, it'll probably pull it up, so I think I'm gonna go with that. Is my next question, my cheapo clamps wide enough to go there? Don't think so. Well, no, not quite. Okay. So that means I need another one of my tiny clamps, which I got plenty of them. But can I get that? I don't know if it'll grab on that or not. Let's see here. I don't think I'll put enough pressure on it to keep it straight. Okay. Okay, well, first things first, actually, let me go back to put my bed in place, too. I'm going to do a little B7000 on the backboard, because it's going to be against that back wall. Not a huge amount, just enough to make sure it stays. Pretty small bead. And then throw some hot glue on here so I can push it, hopefully get it on there and just push it right in place. And get it to, waiting on my blue light there, there it is. Just sort of right down the middle, just nice. Little blob there. Ease you over and in and back. I do think put my clamp on here. It's up against that back wall. Good. Okay. And let's see. A little elf Santa hat. I think I'll have it leaning up against the wall, maybe it look like it's hanging off a hook or something. So, actually, I'll just dab a hot glue on that top of it. Should be good the way it's leaning there, so that'll suit me. Just give me a little hot glue back here on this seam. Ease you up against the wall. Got a little carried away with that one, but right there against our sign. And then our stocking is supposed to be over here somewhere. They've actually got it sitting on the steps, but I think, okay, I'm going to do a little pruning here, make it fit under the roof. So let's take those top guys off there. This one doesn't quite disappear as much as the other one did, but I think this is a slightly different shade of red, but it's sort of sticking with the hot glue theme. Right there. Just alright. So then our steps supposed to be like something like that. I think that'll actually be okay. It's gotta glue. Yeah. I'm gonna go the hot glue gun on the inside one here. And wait a second, change my mind. Well, I didn't change my mind, but I need to do something else before I do that. Okay. Gonna put B7000 on the outside and the hot glue on the inside, so have in theory the best of both worlds. Reasonably good blob there. Let's say the outside line, and back to the hot glue on this one again. And just use those guys in, hold them in place. Okay, and I hope there's something in front of those steps because they are floating pretty much a lot. Yeah. Ponding with the wrong angle, but yeah, I'll figure something else. But if I have to, I think, I don't know, they included, let's see, I'm pretty sure that's going to be an extra step. So if I have to, comes to it, I'll just slap it on down here to cover the amazing floating steps. You know, I think, let me take a peek back at the front cover. Yeah, our Christmas tree and everything's going to be sort of in front of it. I may scoot it back a little bit to do a little more camouflage there, but yeah, we'll figure something out on that. Make it more, you know, where it's not obvious. But I think that's ample. I babbled on, got past the hour mark again, but this may be the first time I got an hour mark on this, but we're making some progress there, and like I say, I feel better about having this solidified in place now, or you know, once the glue dries, it will be anyway. But I'm gonna call it there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, oh, and their pillow's gonna go something like that. I may make another pillow before it's all said and done. See how it looks. That's a big old pillow there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all of that. Be good to one another. Stay safe. And click on a link. There's my channel over there if you'd like to subscribe. There's my other channel where I'm still planning on doing more projects, experiments over there. That's what YouTube thinks you should be watching. And that is the playlist for this whole build. I'll see you tomorrow.